2 volunteers. Anyone that would like to be my volunteer, please let me know. And while we're waiting for a volunteer, Josh, please, I've sent you my slides. I'm not sure I can do justice here. Please let me know if you can get that. Okay.
Yeah.
Any volunteer
We'll
in the
work
house?
on the slides. Yeah, we're working on the slides. Cool.
Perfect. So who are my 2 volunteers? Thank you, Han. Anybody else? Don't worry, it's gonna be it will be a fun exercise. Trust me. All right, while we have Anne and the second volunteer is waiting. And so you're gonna do 2 things for me. I need you to tell us 3 facts about yourself, right? 3 facts. 2 of it have to be true and 1 needs to be a lie. So 2 truths and a lie. And what we would all do is we have to guess the lie. So over to you. Whoever gets the lie correctly, you get a gift from me. I don't know what the gift would be. It might be Amazon. It might be a water bottle. Whatever it is, let me know. And over to you. Let's try.
Okay, hello everyone. Good evening. So I run a community of about 20,000 women. I am 6'1", and I have 3 kids.
Anybody that would help us, or should I guess? I think 6'1" might be the answer. And Anne, please pardon me in case I'm right or wrong, right? I'm a very, very short person as well. I'm practically 5'4". So this is no shade. But I'm guessing it's the 6'1" that is the lie. But any other person, I think there are some comments in the chat. Let's have a look. Someone said the height is a lie. Okay, 6 foot is a lie. Moyolua is thinking 3 kids. I think 4 kids ought. And I think some people know you very well on this call. I think some people know you well. So do you want to tell us what the lie is?
I'm 5'1".
See, I got my 5 foot member. That's good. Thank you, Han. Any
Thank
other
you.
person? One more volunteer before we carry on. Come on, guys. We should use this to get to know ourselves better.
While we're waiting for Lola, anyone else would like to jump in?
Sueli.
We have Sueli on the
Say
chat.
again?
Sueli.
Okay, Sueli. Okay, cool. Okay, yeah, Sueli, please jump on it. Go for it.
Hi, can everyone hear me and see me okay?
Yeah, we can.
Hi, so well, I can't go with the height again. So I've been to Who Wants to Be a Millionaire and the quiz show, and I lost, or I was removed on the 5th round. I went to Alicia Keys' concert, and then I overslept and missed a flight. And well, try to come up with something else. Am I okay just to stick with these 2?
I was actually waiting for the lie. I feel like the third one. I feel like the third one is the lie.
Well, I'll say I can speak 5 languages. Any guesses?
Okay, I'll say you can't speak 5 languages.
Yeah, the 5 languages.
Yeah.
It took me
So
too
do you
long
want to bail
come
us
up
out?
with that.
Do you want to bail us out?
I can speak 3, so I'm not that far off.
Okay, cool. Thank you so much, Swirly. I think Lola is back. Lola, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Oh,
Sorry, my laptop
fantastic.
decided to do a restart in between. So yeah, I'm sorry.
It needs
Sorry about
it
that.
needs a vision boarding. The laptop needs to be vision boarded.
Yep.
Yeah.
Wonders of technology, right? Wonders of technology. Thanks everybody for your patience. So do we have the last volunteer? I think someone just finished now, and you can speak 3 languages. That is commendable. I think I can only speak Yoruba and English. Any other thing, I can. So well done. Kudos to you. All right, so let's get started. Please confirm you can see the screen. Okay, housekeeping, if there's any question, feel free to put it in the chat, and we'll get to go from there. Amazing. Thank you, everybody. Please, next slide. I would start with a story, right? And a story is about a young girl that was, I don't know, do you have any Nigerians in the house? Is anybody that's Nigerian?
There were plenty.
No, no. Plenty. So a young girl that jammed. How many people knows jam very well? And wahek very well. So for those that don't know that, it's more like is it the secondary school or the high school certification that you take before you get into the university, right? And this young girl had multiple failures back to back. I think it was like 5-6 years back to back. And that young girl wrote on a sheet, on a new sheet, and she wrote that I want to attend a private university. On no account, there was no way the young girl would get into a private university because there was just no way she was going to get it. As at then, it was more like a dream. It wasn't even a vision. She just wrote it that I'm going to a private university. Couple of years down the line, the girl started doing business. The young lady made some money. She went to a private university, took an entrance exam, passed, got an admission, and went to her parents and said, here you go, I've gotten the admission. And the parents said, okay, that's fine. And she later ended up attending a private university. That lady got married and got into the UK. And just like everybody else, they told that lady, once you get into the country, the best thing for you to do is to go into healthcare. Go into healthcare and study and be a nurse. So she did like everybody advised her, go into healthcare. And she did that really well. But along the line, she realized that she wanted more. And she had a dream as well to one day work in tech. And one way or the other, she set her goals as usual. And it was hard. It wasn't very easy for her to do. She had a lot of challenges on the way. But along the line, she was able to switch from her career as an healthcare assistant to becoming a consultant in tech. And over the years, she's had different experiences of what it entails to set goals, to have dreams, and to also pursue them. I'm going to say to you today, with God's help, that lady is me. And a little bit about myself. My name is Lola Raji. I'm a tech consultant. And trust me, I did not come with a silver spoon hanging over my head. And if they told me that I was going to work in tech, I'll be like, nah, you all are joking. I used to work with NHS professionals. I don't know if anybody knows NHS professionals. Even your shifts are not even guaranteed, guys. So that means you work on the basis that this hospital needs you, you go for it. And I remember that I was working one day, an elderly woman pulled me to the side and said, how old are you again? And I looked at her, I was like, 27. And she said, you shouldn't be doing this. You have more prospects. Have you thought about tech? And it was like a fuse went off in my tech about how. And I started doing the research. And I wrote it on a board. I wrote my congratulations letter to myself. And I said I was going to get a role in tech. It took me 2 years, 32 interviews to get my first ever role in tech. And I went from a 16,000 salary to a 65,000 salary jump. And if I was still working in healthcare, there was no way I would make my salary jump, right? And over the years, I've consulted across various organizations. I've worked with BT, Essential, Morpheus, Sky, Legal and General, just to name a few. And what I do is basically I go into organizations, improve their processes, help them deliver technical programs, projects, set up their teams, and most especially make sure that they get value for money. And as a consultant, that means you're just there for a short period of time. You help them implement a change, and then you're on to the next one. On the other side, I'm a mom of two, and a very, very naughty wife, because I won't say I'm a gentle wife. I'm a very naughty wife. But that being said, one of the things I believe has been instrumental in this journey for me, and being a Black person, and sometimes I've been on contract. In fact, when I went into the Home Office project, in the whole of my program were only 2 Black people, and I was the only Black woman on the team. And sometimes I'm asking myself, how did I get here? And I don't know, does anybody feel this imposter syndrome? And you enter something like, you're trying to like calm yourself down because you're believing like, is this even me? Is this even possible? Well, today I'm going to talk to you about what I do, how I do it, and hopefully I will leave you with something that will be transformational along the way for you. Okay? So let's get the ball rolling. Next slide, please. Yes, Ebube, you know my word. So let's talk about why vision boarding needs strategy. A lot of times we have this goal, we have this dream, we have this vision, and say this is what I want to do. By the way, you can see a board behind me. You can see I only have one thing pinned there. That's my vision board for 2026. And as weird as that sounds, should I tell you what's on it? Sorry, I'm a Christian, by the way, if there's any Christian in there or anybody that's not Christian. And my plan is to pray every day at the beginning of the day for 1 hour, pray in tongues for 1 hour. Have I been able to do it every day? No. But do I still have it there? Yes. So vision board is very, very popular in this our world, right? Everybody will be like, oh, you need to set a vision board. And January, how many people see that vision boarding exercise in January? Everybody's coming up with their goals, their vision, their board. And in as much as that is good, a vision actually helps you get a clear picture of where you want to go to, that future that you want to have, and intentionally working towards it. When I was an healthcare assistant, I had this vision to work in tech. How that I was going to get there, no, but I knew it was a goal. But I was intentional about taking steps every day to get me there. From training to certifications, to reading, to studying, to networking, I took all the right steps. So one thing you know to remember is it is not just what you hope to happen. You have to be decisive enough to have a vision. And when you have that vision, take intentional steps towards it. If not, then it becomes just a dream, right? And a dream can take 50 years to happen, can take 20 years to happen. But if you have a vision, you can then work towards it. And it is that direction that it can pursue. You can set that vision in your life, in your career, your finances, your personal growth. One of the visions I've set for myself is latest by the time I'm 45, I'm going to officially retire. And what that means is I'm going to be work optional. So that means I may decide to work and I may decide not to work, but I'll still have regular income coming in and it's not going to affect my lifestyle. It could be in your career. By the time I'm 40, I want to become the MD CEO of a multinational bank. Whatever it is, it might be personal growth. My plan for 2025 was to read 50 books. I think I ended up reading 60. Set up goals for yourself, but set up vision, and you have to be intentional at taking that steps toward it. And some of the questions I need you to ask yourself when you're setting this vision for yourself is, where am I going? It is very, very hard sometimes with the hustle and bustle of life for us to sit down and think about where we're going. And sometimes, you know, this social media stuff, right? You see someone in Ferrari today, you see another person on LinkedIn saying, oh, I just got a multi-million pounds contract. Oh, I just finished my MBA from Oxford. And you're thinking, where am I even going exactly? Don't look at those. Stay focused on your own lane. Think about what you want to do. Where are you going? And what level are you building towards? Some of your vision might not be something you can achieve in 10 years. Some might take 10, 20 years. But you need to know where you're going and how you work towards it. And what type of life do you want to live? And how do you want to sustain that life? And I think I told you about mine as well. And how do you get there? Who do you need to become to get there? So if you think of your future self now, where you want to be, your future self might mean that you need to get up as early as 6 a.m. You need to plan your life. You need to plan family time. You need to probably get married, whatever it is. Think about your future self and how do you get there? But one of the things I've written here is vision would always give you direction. Okay? It then helps you to filter down the opportunities. When I knew I wanted to work in tech, different opportunities came by. There was an opportunity for me to go directly into nursing, but I knew that wasn't the path I wanted to follow. So I stuck with the tech path, which is what I wanted. Okay? And I stood focused on that. Yes, there were distractions. I had to continue working until I got a job. It took me 2 years. I did interviews. There was a day I did 3 interviews, and one of the interviewers said, just take a break. Like you've done enough. But I still continued anyway. Okay. And sometimes, and most times, I feel as Black professionals, clarity is not optional for us. We need to know what we want and how we want to get what we want. Okay. And sometimes it's okay to say, oh, I'm not quite sure yet, but please have a direction that you're navigating towards. What industry do you want to work in? What business do you want to have? What career do you want to pursue? Okay. And all of that will help us understand how to get to where we want to get to. Next slide, please. So let's talk about what vision means in real life. Okay. I would say a strong vision is always specific and personal. You know, I can decide to say, oh, my vision for 2020 is to be a big girl. Anybody can be a big girl. Or I want to be a baddie, and they will do like this. They clock it, that they call it now. You want to be a baddie and you want to clock it. That's not vision, right? Because you're not specific and it's not even personal to you. And some people will say that, oh, I want to be successful. Successful at what? Doing what? Okay, so I'm going to give you some of the examples I have here. An example is I want to move into a senior management role or position within the next 2 years. See, it's clear, it's definitive. I want to earn £75,000 in 3 years. I want to work with the Big Four in the next 2 years. I want to build a consulting income. Someone said clock it. That generates £3,000 for you alongside your job every month. Okay? Be as clear and as specific as you want to be. But one thing I need you to remember though is any vision that doesn't stretch you is not good enough. Let me repeat that. Any vision that doesn't stretch you is not good enough. However, it should also reflect your reality. When I was in Nigeria and I was struggling to get admission into university, and I wrote, I want to attend a private university. Look at the difference. How was I even going to get there? And when I was an healthcare assistant and I said, oh, okay, I want to do this. And I remember when I started in tech, I said, oh, I wanted to earn 6 figures. I want to make £1,000 a day. And I know I was talking to one of my mentors and like, oh, my plan is to earn £1,000 a day. He said, are you crazy? People don't make that type of money in the UK. What are you talking about? And I said, okay, I'm probably sharing my vision with the wrong person. By the time I started making £1,300 a day, I couldn't call him to tell him that it actually happened. Right? So your vision has to stretch you. Okay? And think of outcomes when you talk about vision. Don't think of emotion. Oh, I want to feel happy. Yes, that's a good feeling. But what is going to be the outcome of that vision? Okay, next slide, please. And then I need you to also remember that when we're setting a vision for our lives, a lot of people think, oh, vision is just something that encompasses all aspects of your life. But no, your vision should cover multiple areas. That way, you're clear, you can work towards it, and you can also track it and remain accountable. Okay? You can choose or have both a career vision or business growth vision. You can have both. Right now, I have both. I have a career vision and I have a business vision. You can also have income and wealth building vision, right? By the next 5 years, you want to be or by the next 2 years, you want to be a millionaire or multi-millionaire, or you want to have so amounts in stocks, investments, and bonds, right? Also, when it comes to skill building and credibility, you can set vision for that. One of the things I've learned over the past couple of years, especially as a Black professional, is your credibility in this country matters a lot. And for you to become someone that is credible, you need to intentionally build those skill sets, from your communication skills to your interpersonal skills to your problem-solving skills, right? It might even mean you need to do certifications. It might mean you need to network with people. It might mean you also need to put yourself out there. Set those visions for yourself. Set those goals for yourself. Your health-wise as well, sustainability, relationship, community, network. Okay? I was listening to a podcast this morning and I was reading a post as well. And someone said that if you're within a particular set of circle and they don't challenge you enough, change that circle. And I said to myself, okay, what do I need to do then? I need to network more. How do I network? Meet new people. Right now, I'm networking. I'm going to probably see if you guys have any in-person session and sneak in. Network, meet new people, attend conferences, attend events, reach out to people on LinkedIn. Okay? So just to buttress the point, set this vision or set these goals for yourself in different aspects. That way you can track them. And also don't fall to the trap of setting too much and it overwhelms you. You can start with just 2. Okay? One for your career, one for your business or for your finance, or one for your academics or one for your business. Or you can start with community and health, whatever is it, start with 2. If you feel like you're making progress, you can add one more. But make sure that you're not just having one entire goal or vision that circles everything. Okay? So when your vision covers your whole life, your decisions are much more aligned towards what you need to do. That way you're taking intentional steps. Okay? That means, for example, if one of my goal is, okay, I'm going to share this with you. One of my goal is to be in the C-suite managerial position in the next 1 to 2 years. And that was because, and I'm going to share this because I feel like this is a safe house. I applied for a role sometimes ago, and it was for an executive director role. And after the interview, they came back and said, "Oh, Lola, we loved you. Your interview was absolutely amazing. But we realized that that role is not going to be suitable for you. However, we're going to create a new role entirely for you." So that business created a new role, a new title just for me to be there. And they accommodated me. However, sometimes later, I realized the role was given to another person. And after doing my research, I realized, okay, the type of roles that I want, especially when it comes to tech, there's some level of credibility that I need to have. So one of my goals and one of my vision for the next 2 to 5 years is secure an MBA from either Oxford or Cambridge. And I know by the time I do that, I'll be better positioned for this type of roles. See, that is a career goal or a career vision. Obviously, it's going to stretch me. I went to look at their fee alone. I don't know if anybody has had a look at Oxford Executive MBA. And I think it starts around £134,000, right? But if it is something that I've decided to go, remember I said it has to stretch you as well. That doesn't mean you should get into debt, but it has to be something that will move you out of your comfort zone. With my schedule, it's going to be hard for me to do it, but I would also be determined to go for it. So that's also to tell you that sometimes that goal that you want to set for yourself should not be convenient. It should take you out of your comfort zone. It should push you to be better as well. Okay? So your vision may include, oh, I want to become a team lead. I want to increase my savings. I want to strengthen my professional network. Whatever it is, clearly write it down. Another thing that I notice is, and probably I'm going to ask you this, how many of us write down our goals, our dreams, our visions? And how many of us have it in the notepad of our phone? And how many of us have it in our head? So yeah, Paul, let's put it in the chat. If you write it in your note, write note. If you write it in your notepad, write notepad or write it phone. And if you have it in your head, write head. So let's see. Notes. Thank you. So Ellie said head. Okay. Ayodeji said phone. Thank you. Adetayo said notes. Notes. Okay. Anybody? I just said everywhere. I like that. Ed, phone. Okay, that's good. Anybody else wants to share? Joshua, where do you have yours? Kelechi, where do you have yours as well? Okay, Kelechi said notes. That's good. Renikeji said phone. All right. One thing I want to ask you to do today is Notepad, Google Drive, Vision Board. Okay, that's perfect. One of the things that I've seen that is very powerful, and this is from my personal experience, is write it out. Even the Bible told us, write it down, make it plain, so that when you run, you read with it. I'm going to show you mine. Mine is always by my desk. This is it. It is good for you to have it on your phone, and it is good for you to have it on your head. But a lot of times, it becomes much more realistic when you write it down. Take your pen, get a new sheet. In fact, splurge on a new sheet. Get one on Amazon or a new journal or something like that. Write it out. Set a time once a month to review this, to track how far you've gone. Guys, trust me, it works. One of my goals at the beginning of the year was to make a particular amount of money. And by the end of January, with God helping me, I was able to hit that target. And it was just January. So I was telling myself, okay, do I extend my goal? But imagine I don't even write it down and I just know it in my head. That means I won't be able to track if I've even achieved it or not. So an assignment from me today is, please write it down. What is the vision? The difference between a vision and a dream? That's good. A dream, right? It's definitely something you want to achieve, something you would love to do, but you know it is there. A vision, however, on the other hand, is closer to a dream, but you have to take intentional steps. You have to break it down to achieve it. And you have to take intentional steps towards getting there. I'm going to continue in my next slide. I think I will explain much later. Please, next slide, please. And this would answer that question back. How about wardrobe or bathroom mirror? No, don't write it there. Write it on your notepad. Why vision is not enough? Do you think having a vision is enough to get us through life, especially as Black professionals? What are your thoughts on that? Do you think having a vision is enough?
If I may jump in, Josh, right here.
Please.
I don't think having a vision is enough. I think it's just like planting a seed. If you don't, what's the word now? If you don't water it, if you don't put it, if the seed is not in the right environment, it's not able to thrive, even though the seed might be good. So I think it's really important not just to write the vision, like you mentioned in previous slides. You actually have to actively work on it. Now, back to the dynamic of being a Black person. I think maybe this is something you might be able to touch on. How exactly do we deal with, systemic restrictions that actually comes with being, living out your vision? For instance, now I could say I probably want to do X, Y, and Z, but if you are trying to get into the space, not many Black people are there, and it's never been done before. You have all these thoughts, all these conversations around, Black people are never there. So perhaps I guess just being in the right environment would actually help your vision, especially as a Black person. I think it sort of quickens it quickens the process, for you to achieve the vision that you have in mind. So I don't know if I rambled, but those are just my own thoughts. Yeah.
Okay, let's start with thank you for answering that question. One of the things I want to reiterate is a vision or a dream is usually something that you have in your heart. It happens in your mind, right? I have this dream. It might even be emotions that you've attached to that dream. It might be stories that you've told yourself about this dream. It might be feelings of what you want to achieve, right? And it's very meaningful, right? But one thing I also need you to remember is a dream can be vague, right? It can be emotionally nice, but it is still vague. There's nothing tangible attached to it. But when we talk about a vision, That way you are much more deliberate and you're directed towards achieving it. It means you are thinking about this while you are awake. You're not daydreaming. Yes, you know you want to achieve it. It's clearer. And then you have structured steps that you need to take to achieve it. So when you say, oh, someone have a vision, they usually mean that they can see a specific outcome, okay, in their mind, and they're going to be aiming for it while putting in the work, the action to achieve it. Does that make sense? However, when you now have a vision and you don't have the structure to get it done or to achieve it, this is where we then get frustrated. Okay. Some people will say, oh, I want to land a 6-figure role. You don't have any high income skill. You're not improving yourself. You're not challenging yourself. You're not networking and being in the right circle. It's not going to fall on your lap. You need to be intentional. Okay. So you may know that you want more income, but how are you going to get that more income? Do you need to get trained? Do you need to finish your BSc or your MSc or network, whatever it is? The vision is just to set the direction for you. You then need to take the movement to achieve you there, to make you achieve that goal. Okay? So the movement will be from your decisions, from the timelines, and from measurable steps. I know sometimes we have vision and we don't even have timeline attached to it. Or we have a dream and be like, one day I will be a millionaire. That's a dream. However, how are you going to become a millionaire? Does that make sense now? So one of the things I want to say is that is also why we need to talk about setting smart goals. I know this context of smart goals is being overhyped sometimes, and a lot of people have talked about it. And when you hear smart goals, your eyeballs are rolling like, they've come here again, aspire to aspire. When we talk about smart goals, I want you to see it as a vehicle that helps you achieve that vision. Okay? See it as that vehicle that you need to go through to achieve that vision. It removes every form of ambiguity on the way. It reduces that procrastination. It helps you to also get accountable. And for me, I feel when I set smart goals, I'm able to also track my progress over time, which is one of the things I was talking about. I set a timeline. I wanted to achieve something, and I set a timeline. And when I went back to review my progress in that January, I've already hit my target. So the plan is, okay, how do I push my target further? How do I push myself further in 2026? Do you understand? Next slide, please. And to answer Joshua's question about systemic racism or systemic restrictions, one thing to say is it's bound to happen, right? It's normal. And one of the things I feel is that I've learned to find a grounded way to deal with it. Currently, also where I'm consulting, I'm the only Black person in that whole program. And the program has almost, say, another 80 to 90 people. And yes, this is in the UK. And I'm still the only Black person on that program. So there are places where we are not represented enough. And that's probably why I'm passionate about getting a lot of people into tech. I feel like we've not gotten there. A lot of us get discouraged along the way. And a lot of us have this mindset of, yeah, it's going to be stressful, or there's nobody that looks like me, and that circle, I've not been there. One of the things I've learned is to break any limiting beliefs. As long as I want something, no matter what is happening in that space, I will go for it. Okay, so number one is start from yourself. The moment you know you want to achieve something, forget about, yes, sometimes you won't be treated fairly. I think I told you about my experience at an interview. Sometimes you won't be treated fairly, but that doesn't mean I'm going to hang up myself and I'll cry, oh, they didn't treat me fairly. They created a new role for me. They gave my role to another person. That's okay. But that means I'm still going to continue. So number one, a lot of it, I need you to take your mind off it. Create your own lane and focus on it. The system would always do what it wants to do. The type of circles that you would fall into later on in your career, you can only get there with intentionality, with God's help, and you being determined as well. Okay. Number 2, don't be afraid to challenge the status quo, right? Don't be afraid to ask questions. Don't be afraid to learn the rules of the game or the rules of how it works in corporate. Let's say, for example, corporate is where your mind really is. For me, one of the things I've learned in corporate, and especially as a consultant, is when it comes to your work, don't be quiet about it as well. Don't be quiet. You know that Jane from PHR? Jane would sneeze and say, oh, I sneezed today. And when I sneezed, 3 people said, bless you. And then you are sneezing, you are typing, you are working, you are doing someone else's role, but you're very modest about it. Shout out the work you've done. Let people know that you're there. Some of us, we go for meetings and our cameras are off. I think they asked me earlier that would my camera be on. I'm like, yes, yes. Turn on your camera. Let them see you. Contribute to meetings. Let people feel your impact. And then I will say, pick your battles on purpose. Anything that you don't need to be part of, stay clear. That office politics, stay clear. And protect your mind and your mental health. As long as you know you want to enter some spaces, trust me, sometimes it's hard from the outside. But once you're there, you would adjust. Trust me, we are Black now. We would always adjust. So let's talk about SMART goals, what that means. It means you need to set goals that are specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. Those 5 key steps would make a lot of the things that we want to do easy. Be specific about what you want. I want to lead a project. See, guys, it doesn't have to be complicated, right? It doesn't have to be complicated. Just know what you want. Okay? I want to work at, so there was a time I had this vision that I wanted to work with Accenture. It was on my mind. I wanted to work with Accenture. There was no telling me anything. When I applied, they told me it was going to be a 5-step process, a 5-stage interview rather. I said, okay, bring it on. I did the 5 stages of interview. I passed all 5 stages and I got the job. I was specific. Okay, so be clear about what you want to do. Then measure it. Make sure that it is something that you can track. Okay, in the next 1 year, I want to move from this role to this role. I want to move from a project support officer to being a project manager, or I want to move from a CGPA of 3.0 to 4.0, whatever it is. Attach metrics to it. You know how projects get, or how we know if projects are successful? We track it. We set KPIs, key performance indicators. We set metrics, just to know that even in corporate, we track everything we do. So bring that system into your own life as well. Any goal that you set for yourself, how would you measure that you've made progress? How do you track it? Then I need you to make sure that it is something that can stretch you, but it is also something that is not far-fetched, right? You can't say, I want to be a millionaire in the next 6 months, and then you don't have any structure for you to be a millionaire. Or I'm going to win a lottery and I'll be a millionaire. Yeah, it happens, but come on. So make sure it is something that is achievable. It will stretch you, but it must be realistic. So while we're on this chapter, what I'm explaining is think of different aspects of your life and think of a goal, one particular aspect of your life, and think of a goal that you're going to set for yourself tonight that fits all this, or that ticks all these boxes. It could be a career goal, it could be a business goal, it could be a finance goal. We're going to talk about it later. Feel free to share if you want to share. If you don't want to share, that's fine. But I need you to set a goal for yourself that hits this point. Also, we said it must be achievable. While you know that you want it to be achievable, you also need to be defined what steps would get you there. Sometimes, however, you might not get all the steps at once. Okay? The most important is start somewhere and move forward. Start somewhere and move forward. You know, there are some goals that you'll be like, I need to get everything. And this happens to me as well. If I don't know if my assistant is on the call. She sometimes calls me a perfectionist. Sometimes when I want to do something, I need everything perfect to the T. So I run a charity called Female Bloom. And I usually have events. And sometimes when I want to plan the event, I need to have all my boxes ticked, even before I start the event planning. And I need to realize that just step out and you will figure it out along the way. Okay? So ask yourself, how are you going to get there? And what steps will you take to move you forward? Then one of my favorite parts, guys, make sure that your goals are relevant. It must be aligned to, you see that future self that you have, it must be aligned to it. Okay, imagine I said my goal is to work in tech, right? I want to be a consultant. I've always loved that passion. And someone said, okay, Lola, come and go for nursing. Yes, there's a goal, right? A lot of people are doing it. They're doing well in it, but it's not relevant to where I see my future self. Okay, so it has to be relevant. It has to be tailored to where you see yourself. If it doesn't bring you closer to where you want to be, then that goal is a distraction. Okay, so make sure that it is relevant to where you want to see yourself. And lastly, my favorite part is set a timeline for it. Some people will be like, oh, Lola, what if I don't achieve it in that timeline? It's okay. We reassess, we re-strategize, and we go again. But when you set a timeline for it, it keeps you motivated and you're encouraged to work towards it as well. Next slide, please. Someone said flying was unachievable, impossible, not time-bounded, not measurable for human, but still successful. Was it not a smart goal? Ultimately, I would say it is a goal, but was it smart? I would think I'll leave that to you. And the fact that it doesn't have a timeline, it took years to achieve, there was no one owning that process, you know the answer already. Or was it something that was beneficial to humans? Absolutely yes. And now we're bringing it back to you as an individual. Okay, for flying, I can say it depends on how you want to look at it. It depends on your perspective, but I'd rather not go into that debate right now. I'll say as an individual, but especially for your life, for your career, for any aspect of your life that you decide to focus on, please set smart goals. But if you decide not to set a smart goal, then remember that you have a dream. And by all means, a lot of people have dreams. And I remember there was someone that said, I have a dream as well. So try and figure it out. Then we have, how do we then turn vision into smart goals? Like I said, I want to progress in my career. That sounds good. But what do you need to progress in your career? I want to move from my current position to this position in 18 months, leading a particular team, recognized certification, having quarterly review, and conversations with your manager. See, a smart version. Instead of I want to progress in my career, you can see that it's specific on what they want to do, the timeline that is going to take them to get there, what they need to do to get there as well. And then there's accountability in that phase as well. So remember that you're clear on what you want to achieve. Remember that you're aligned to where you're going. And for young professionals, I would say this would always shift our behavior to how we achieve things. Remember, at the end of the day, you can decide to have your goal. You can decide not to have it. But it is basically what works for you. My own advice, and from my personal experience, is set that goal. Go wild as much as you can. Set that dream. Dream big as much as you can as well. However, if you know you want to achieve it quickly, clearly, and you want to be accountable, then please set smart goals. I said vision would always define your destination, but your smart goals will define the route that you would take to get there. So that's answering your question again, Mohammed. Your vision will set the destination of where you want to go. This is where I want to get to. But you know that smart goals that we're setting, being specific, setting measurable things in place, making sure that it's realistic, it's time-bound, it's achievable. That is the route. Remember I said it's a vehicle. That is the route that will get you there. Next slide, please. So if you are into entrepreneurship like I am, or if you'd love to do business, or you're doing a business already, I feel I just added this there. And so people have this dream, oh, I want to start a business, Lola. What do you want to do? Define what you want to do. And by the way, I'm using my consulting experience or example. It might be, oh, I want to start a hair salon, or I want to start a marketing agency. I know someone that started a virtual assistant agency and the rest, and they're doing well for themselves. Whatever business you want to set, just don't say, I want to start a business. I want to launch a consulting offer in September. I want to secure my first 2 paying clients that generates a particular figure in 6 months. So let me give you an example. 2 years ago, I decided to start my business coaching program. I knew my dream was to do it, right? How do I then set up myself? I said, okay, my plan is to set up the business. My plan is to secure 3 paying clients between the first 1 month of starting. And once I get that 3 paying clients, I've then validated my idea, right? And then I know there is demand for it. So I told quite a number of people, oh, I'm starting my business coaching program and it costs £1,500. I just know if you want to sign up. And I opened that slot in 1 week. And in 1 week, the 3 people paid me my deposit. So the moment I had my deposit in hand, I then went to prepare the materials that I used to train for the business coaching program. So be very, very clear on what you want to do. Set a timeline, set a goal, be realistic about it. And you can break it into different actions, like I said. Market research, which is one of the things that I did. I validated my idea. Offer design, outreach, reach out to people, set up a pricing structure that works. That way, that vision that you have, you're already executing it. Okay? Next slide, please, before we round up. So what I need you to do is to set a 90-day alignment strategy for the next 3 months now. So we're looking at March, April, May. I need you to set a vision that you want to achieve in that 30 days, in that 90 days, rather, in that 3 months. Okay, choose one, which is what I said earlier. Choose one. Could be a finance goal, it could be a career goal, it could be a personal development goal. It could be as simple as I'm going to read 1 book a month. I need you to set that goal for yourself and pursue it diligently for the next 90 days. So Joshua, you're going to act as my accountability coach. Look for 5 people that is going to go on this challenge. Let them be accountable to you. And I'm happy to support anyone as long as it's within the remit of what I do. If it is career, feel free to book a coffee chat with me. My assistant will support. If it is business, let me know how I can help. As long as within my remit, I'm happy to jump in and advise. But set a goal for yourself. It could be savings goal, right? It could be leadership goal. It could be relationship. Get a boo-boo. Whatever we call it now. I don't know, it's been long. We usually call it boo-boo then. Get a boo-boo. I've been married for 10 years, so I don't know the term they use now. Whatever it is. It could be networking goal, right? Kelechi is laughing at me. Decide on what goal you want to achieve and then focus on it for the next 90 days. You can break it down into smaller steps. Month 1, this is what I want to do. Month 2 and month 3. My next slide, please. And then one thing that we don't talk about a lot when we share SMART goals and vision boarding and everything is discipline. Discipline. See, everything we've said here sounds so good, sounds like it's achievable, but a lot of times we start and we don't follow through. Okay, and I see a lot of people start weight loss. I don't know if anybody has done it. Weight loss goal in January. By December or by summer, I'm doing summer body loading. And by March, you're already the one eating at 12 midnight with a bar and okra, or you're having a big bag of burger and fries at midnight with milkshake, right? And it's okay. But the thing that would motivate you or push you to achieve that goal is for you to be disciplined. And I know a lot of people don't like this part, but I will say it anyway. Okay, so you need to define, what do I need to do this week that will move me towards my goals? What conversations do I need to have this week? Who do I need to network with? What application will I need to submit? I do career coaching for quite a number of people, and we have a community that we support people in job application and the rest. And I tell people, every day, apply for 5 jobs. And the people tell me, Coach D, I applied for 2. And then I was carried away. And I'm like, it's not going to happen. You have to be consistent, okay? What skills do you need to develop? It could be as simple as communication skills, etiquette, interpersonal skills. It could even be you learning technical skills. If you want to learn programming, I'm sorry, all my examples might be related to tech. It could be you learning programming, AWS, cloud computing, whatever it is. Make sure that every week you do it. Sometimes ago, I said a goal for myself that I'm going to be much more thankful. And I know sometimes you feel like, well, what do you mean? That I want to be much more conscious of myself, and I want to include gratitude in my day. So what I did is I set 5 key alarms in my phone. I think I set one for 12 o'clock. I set one for 3 o'clock. I set one for 5:55. I set one for 7, 8. And what I do whenever that alarm goes off on my phone is, thank you, Jesus. Thank you, God. And I've stuck with it. It's almost going to a year now, and I'm surprised. You know the funniest thing? I have two kids, age 9 and age 6. When my alarm goes off, they call me, Mommy, Thanksgiving time, Thanksgiving time. And we all do it together. And I've already built that skill set or that consciousness in them. It could be as simple as setting your alarm every day to read a book for 5 minutes. It could be as simple as setting an alarm or telling someone to be your accountability body. I want to apply for a job. Just give me a nudge every day. I'm writing a book called Financing Heals. I gave one of my friends a task to remind me every Sunday that I'm working on my book. So every Sunday she said, Alexa, remind Lola that she's working on her book. Do you understand? So simple steps like that, but you have to be disciplined. You have to show up consistently every day. Okay? Next slide, please, before we round up. Accountability and community. And that is why I believe your community that you have is really good. This is why BYP exists as well. So you're not navigating all of this alone. Please, as much as you can, share monthly progress among yourself, check in with yourselves, track your business among yourself if you need help. Job applications, I think Temi said job application as well. Get someone that can support you along the way. One of the things I realize is when I share my goals out with people, right people remember as well, they hold you accountable, they support you. That community and accountability goes a long way in helping you achieve your goals. And please, if you're already rooted in this community, I believe this is the best place for you to be. Engage, support one another, and yes, I wish you all the best. I think I have 1 or 2 slides and then we're done. So, reflection. Be very clear about what you want. Don't be vague, okay? Don't be vague. If you're vague, then you're falling into that loophole of setting that goals and then you're not achieving it. Also think about it. Are you overworking or strategizing? You know, sometimes we feel like also brings the work to us or also bring the goals to us. It's not hustling. I've been there. Set the right strategy, put the right mechanism and structures in place, then you will do well. Okay. And then what is one uncomfortable action that would move you towards your goal this month? That uncomfortable action might be for you to update your LinkedIn profile and send that recruiter a message. Whatever it is, please do it. And I say here, growth is rarely blocked by lack of talent. Don't think, oh, I don't have talent, I can't do it. It is blocked by lack of clarity. When you're not clear on what you want, there's no goal, there's no vision, there's no strategy. So start with that simple step today. Know what you want. And remember, I said, dream big, dream wild. And I wish you all the best. Last slide should be how you can contact me. Thanks again for having me. My name is Lola Raji. I'm the founder of Label Tech and Female Bloom, and I'm excited to be here. My slide is available for you in case you need it. Joshua, please feel free to share. I'm happy to connect on LinkedIn, on Instagram. That TikTok thing, I don't know. I'm getting a hang of it, but God help me. I think my business page is doing well on TikTok, but my personal page, I'm not there yet. But yeah, it's lovely being here. Thank you so much. And yeah, questions, over to you, Josh.
All right. Thank you, everyone. Thank you so much, Lola. Please, guys, can we just maybe do reactions, clap, or just comment? And just really appreciate Lola for such an insightful session. Personally, I would like to say that I like how you weaved your own personal experiences. Because, there's this saying that says, do as I do, don't just do as I say. But I was very blessed, when you talk about how you are setting visions for yourself and some of the practical steps that you are taking to achieve those visions, like setting alarms, writing it down. So I think this was really what we needed. And I think it's also a good boost for us also, because I think in January, there's always that burst of, oh, I want to achieve this year. And when things don't go as planned, we begin to lose those steam, in January. So I'm very happy that at least for me, I know that, I know the next things that I need to do from these conversations. And I'm definitely going to follow you up on the 5 people that you have honorably given unto us. It's not something that we take lightly. So please, if you would want to be part of this with Lola, please feel free to send me a message on the group chat, on the Manchester BYP group chat. You find my number there.
If
Okay.
there's any question even outside of this call, please feel free to drop me a message. My name is Lola Raji on LinkedIn. My name is Lola Raji on IG.
Yeah.
Drop me a message. Let's chat. Josh
Um,
would basically support if we need to set up a meeting. Happy to do
yeah.
another more catch up if possible.
Yeah, I'm just to really give you a shout, if there were corporate organizations who really wanted to sort of do this with you, what does it entail? Some people are currently work with, different organizations. So if they wanted to perhaps invite you to perhaps lead one of their sessions, how did they do that? How can they do
I'll say
that?
the best bet is to go through my assistant. Her name is Lola. Joshua, you've been talking to
Yeah.
her.
Yeah.
Or send me a direct message on IG or LinkedIn. I
Okay,
think my
cool.
LinkedIn profile is live. I'm happy to give you that. You can share it on the group chat. That shouldn't be a problem at all. But yeah, I think we just work around the timeline
Yeah.
and my availability and just schedule that in. It shouldn't be a problem at all.
Okay, cool, cool. Thank you so much, Ola. I think Moyin has a question more, if I got that correctly. Are you able to ask your question?
Yes, please. Hi, Lola. Thank you so much for this session. Has been so helpful. My question is around, having to set goals and set like a vision board and all of this with so many variables on the line. I feel like because at different stages of life, there are just different things that you have to handle. So, for example, you're single, maybe you have school. They're just certain things that are out of your control that you cannot really, define, and you sort of feels like you have to modify your goals around those things. So, for example, you get married. There's the bit of being present for the family, especially if there are children in question as well. Being present for the family. How do you ensure that your goals are not off tangents with the realities that you find yourself in?
You're basically talking about my life right now, right? To give you a bit of context, I have 2 kids. I'm married. I run a business. I run a charity, and I'm a full-time contractor. What that means, I'm also a career coach. What that means is that I get pulled in different directions. And sometimes I feel like, what does success look like? And then sometimes you're also trying to fit into what everybody have defined success to be, right? But I need you to go back to the source money. I need you to sit down with yourself and understand, what do you actually want? Not the acceptable version. Before you factor in money, time, obstacle, people, be clear on your goal. What do you want to do? One of the things I do is to list all my goals out and prioritize them. Right now, on the top of my list is God. Next is husband. After that, babies. After that, career/money, because I like money, guys. And then we talk about maybe skill sets and the rest and the rest. But you need to prioritize it. Based on your prioritization, you then decide what you give a lot of energy into and what you withhold energy from. Okay? And build a core plan. And sometimes I would always say, have a backup plan. If your plan right now is to say, for example, you're a mom or you're about to get married and you still need to do your MSc and you still need to save, what's the priority right now? Okay, I need to do MSc or husband. I remember when I came into the country, someone said, don't get pregnant immediately because you are schooling. You get pregnant immediately while schooling, it's going to be tricky. And I did not listen. I got pregnant. Yes, guys, reality of my life. And then I was carrying Tommy and I was schooling and I still need to make money and I still need to fight for my papers. And it was very, very chaotic. So I've been there and I understand. But the most important thing is have a plan. Have plan A. Sometimes it is your own plan. Have plan B. Have a safety net. Okay? Prioritize what you need to do and just choose one at a time. Don't fall into the category of a lot of people that says you must achieve all of this by so time. It's a lie. It's your calendar. Let it come to you as when God wants it to come. Okay? So prioritize, choose what you want to do, see if you can mix and match some bad together, or see if you can combine them. But if you can't combine them, focus on one thing at a time. And trust me, over time, everything else will align. Trust me, it would always align. Okay, I hope that helps. All right, thank you.
Yes, it does. Thank you so much, Lola.
You're welcome.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear
Okay,
you.
all right. I'll just like to just also thank everyone. Special shout out to everyone on the team. There's Aditayo here, there's Moi, there's Richard. I think there's also Tokpa. Thank you all for helping to sort of plan this. And I would also like to just thank the BYP network just for the opportunity to sort of lead this. And also thank you, especially Lola, for helping to anchor this session. And I hope that you can look 2 or 3 or 90 days from now, and you can be very proud from the outputs that we'll get from this conversation. And just to everyone who might not know so much about BYP Manchester, we do have quite a number of events coming up. This is just our first one for the year. If you're yet to join the WhatsApp group, please feel free to join that so that we can keep you abreast with everything that's happening within the community, but most importantly, the slides that are better across to you. And if you have any questions or you like to follow up with Lola, our social media handles would also be on the page. Please feel free to reach out to her. And we hope we can all continue to excel as Black young professionals.
Thank you, everyone, for joining the discussion today. Thank you so much, Lola, for sharing such an insightful wealth of knowledge with us today. Thank you, everyone, and do all have an amazing, amazing evening.